and experienced Dijo is here, okay, to shed the light on the topic of utmost importance, right? Osteoporosis. Okay, so he's right now as an associate professor of orthopedics at Dr. Amla Institute of Medical Sciences. This is based out of Thrissur in Kerala, and he have published many articles on many national as well as international journals. Okay, so as a leading authority in the healthcare community, his insights promise to be enlightening and invaluable. So without further ado, let us extend a warm welcome to Dr. Dijo as he begins his session on osteoporosis. So over to you, Dr. Dijo. I'm happy to, pleasure to host you over here. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Hashim. So I first thank Hashim for introducing this community. Am I audible?
Yes,
you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I will share my screen. So I will just make a just introduce the topic of the osteoporosis, then we will have an interactive section.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yes.
Okay. So I'm actually focusing on some unknown facts about the osteoporosis. So first I have to tell what is osteoporosis. So osteoporosis, the word meaning is osteo means bone and porosis means, the pores are made. So if you look at the structure of the bone here, this the above one is the normal bone. So in the normal bone, on the two sides there is a thick bone, and in the middle there is a spongy bone. It's known as this pattern is known as a trabecular pattern. The structure is similar to the tires in our car, which bears the weight. The outer thing is a hard thing, and inside we have a pressurized tire. So the bone structure is also like that. The outer we have a thick cortex, and in the middle we have a spongy bone. But in the osteoporosis, what happens is that the middle one, basically the spongy bone or the medulla, holes are made by certain cells that we discuss later. So the bone becomes weak, so that the bone cannot bear that individual's weight. So that is what happens with the osteoporosis. The problem with this osteoporosis is that fractures can easily happen with a simple form. And one of the fractures that can happen in the osteoporosis is hip fracture. The problem with the hip fracture is that a patient with a hip fracture, his life, if there are 100 patients with a hip fracture, out of these 100 patients, 33 individuals will die within the first year of this hip fracture. So the mortality of once an individual sustains a hip fracture is very high. So that is the importance of osteoporosis. So who all are affected? Basically, the old age people are affected, that we know. Females are more affected than the males because after the menopause, the osteoporosis has an accelerated phase in the females. Males, it appears a little later at the age of 65 to 75 years. Now, the next risk group is those who take long-term steroids for diseases like autoimmune disorders like systemic lupus erythematosus, like that. And the third one are diseases affecting kidney, liver, or certain diseases like osteogenesis imperfecta can decrease the bone strength. So, what is the story behind the osteoporosis? Basically, we have our skeleton inside it. So you may also have seen the skeleton when during an exhibition or in the graveyard. The difference between these two skeletons, or the skeleton that you see outside and that is inside our body, is that ours is a living bone. That means there are cells that work on that bone. according to the stimulus applied to that bone. And the two major cells are, one is osteoclast, which actually causes bone destruction, and the second one is osteoblast, which causes bone formation. So basically, osteoblast is like a hero, and osteoclast is like a villain in the osteoporosis story. So this is actually the history of how osteoporosis happens. Actually the story begins from the teenage period. So teenage period is the time where there is a growth spurt. The growth speed increases in an individual. So in that age, the bone strengthening is determined by mainly three things. One is genetics. The second one is nutrition, and the third one is physical activity. Genetics means if we give a similar nutrition and physical activity to an Indian child as well as an African child will have better bone mass than an Indian child. This is due to the genetics of that individual. Actually, the nutritional part we usually take care of, but the physical activity is basically less in our children due to that homework from the school, and our culture is like that in many schools. And what happens is that during that period, osteoblast has an upper hand than osteoclast. So more bone is formed, and this will reach a peak about in the age of about 30 years. So it is said that after 30 years, our youthfulness declines, and every organ in our body starts decline. Our sight deteriorates, hearing deteriorates. Actually, we don't experience it, but the deterioration starts from the age of 30. And this is similar to the bone also. So the peak bone mass is attained at the age of 30, and after that, osteoclast has an upper hand, not osteoblast. So bone is taken away. This is something like you deposit money in a bank, and after about 30 years, there is only withdrawals. So if you have a good peak bone mass, the chance of osteoporosis becoming symptomatic will be less in your lifespan. So if you ask how will you prevent the osteoporosis, it actually lies with the teenage physical activity and nutrition. In our age group, we can maintain bone mass with exercise, lifestyle, and healthy food, but the effect of the osteoblast will not be much there in our age group than in this adolescent age. So the physical activity during childhood is very important in preventing osteoporosis in the future. Now, how to prevent this? So basically, there is a concept known as a health trinity. We know, like a diet. If you Google, you can get the full list of calcium-rich supplements. But here, when I speak of diet, I have to say 2 points. One is, I have already told there is a aging starts from the organs age from the age of 30 years, and there are many studies associated with this aging, how to decelerate this aging. So there is a theory known as an informational theory of aging, where this they say that the aging is due to the genetic defects that accrue on the DNA. So there is an inbuilt mechanism in our body that actually corrects this DNA damage, but that inbuilt mechanism gets inactivated by age. So there are researchers that say there are certain actions that can stimulate this inbuilt genetic proofreading mechanism. So the two things regarding diet in that research is, one is low carbohydrate diet, and the second thing is diet don't take animal protein on every day. There is a two things that they say about how to decrease the age. Second thing, exercise. Exercise, actually, they say that one should exercise about high intensity exercise should be there for about 30 minutes per day. That means your heart rate should go above 110. And the third thing that is actually we don't give much attention is the sleep. Because if there is a sleep deprivation and if you exercise, what will be burnt will be your lean body mass. Lean body mass means the body mass, your total body weight minus your fat. So more lean body mass is burnt than the fat if you have a sleep deprivation. Another important thing is that sleep deprivation also causes cardiac events. For example, there's a study that was done in Greece. In the old days, in the Greece, their work culture was like this. They have a nap in between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. and all the activities will stop. It's not as a siesta. So when the corporate culture came in, they thought that if we don't sleep from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., the productivity will increase. And the culture changed. So there was a study comparing the cardiac deaths during the old times and the recent times when the nap was not there. And they found that there was a 40% increase in the cardiac events when this sleep time was decreased. This is actually more than the prevention that is given by the statins. Statins usually protect you, or the statins are the cholesterol lowering drugs. They protect you from the MI for about 30%. The risk reduction is 30%. Whereas in the sleep, they have discovered a risk reduction of 40% in the study conducted. So sleep is also important in preventing this osteoporosis. Now, how to diagnose osteoporosis? One of the myths that everybody follow is that we usually do a serum calcium level check for detecting osteoporosis, but that actually is wrong. The serum calcium level will be maintained by taking calcium from the bone. So the serum calcium level will dip only after much amount of calcium is lost from the bone. So actually, if you have to detect osteoporosis, you have to look at the bone, whether there is this trabecular pattern or there is any porosity in the bones. The gold standard test to diagnose osteoporosis is actually DEXA scan, which is actually a short form for dual energy X-ray absorptiometry. So what here they do, the principle behind is that you pass two types of X-rays with two types of energy. And if there is more calcium in the bone, more X-rays will be absorbed. So if there is less calcium in the bone, less X-rays will be absorbed. So the X-rays that we receive, we can calculate, we can analyze with an algorithm and calculate the bone mineral density. The second common thing that you see is the BMD scan, which is actually what we do here is that an ultrasound is passed through the heel bone. So if there is more calcium, more ultrasound is absorbed. That is the principle. Coming to the treatment, we already know that the calcium and vitamin D are given very often to treat the osteoporosis, but giving in a severely osteoporotic individual, giving only calcium and vitamin D will not cure the osteoporosis. There are drugs that act on the mechanism that produces the osteoporosis. As I already told, drugs that act on the two cells I have mentioned, osteoblast and osteoclast. One of the common drugs that came into being much before is the bisphosphonate group. What shown here is the example of that group, that is zoledronic acid, which is given as an yearly injection. This drug basically affects the osteoclast or decreases the activity of the osteoclast. The second one is a teriparatide, which is actually given as a daily injection. This injection actually stimulates the osteoblast. And the third one is known as a denosumab, which this acts on the osteoclast, decreases the activity of osteoclast. This drug is given during 6 months, once in 6 months. So these are the common drugs that are available for fighting the osteoporosis. So thank you. I think I will. If there are any doubts, I will clear that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dijo. I think that was a lot of insights, right? Basically, right. I'm sure that many of us will have this question, right? The first question, which I will start with the first question, right? How can we determine, like, if I am having a pain, right? How can I determine, like, is it like it's a normal pain or is it because of osteoporosis? How can we determine? What are the steps which we need to?
As I already told, osteoporosis is basically the trabecular pattern, the lace-like pattern in the bone is destroyed, and there is no mechanism in the bone in our body to detect that loss. Actually, the loss is painless. So the pain occurs when there is a fracture. Occurs. So usually the osteoporosis mostly affects the spine vertebra. So what happens is that when the patient and the fracture that commonly occurs in that age group is the compression fracture of the spine. When the patient, even an old age patient, stands from a sitting position, the fracture can occur due to the porosity. The osteoporosis as such is painless. It produces pain when there is a fracture.
Thank you. Yeah, so there is a question from Prasad. Okay, so those, I mean, to the entire team right over here. So please post your questions in the chat window, or you can actually ask, you can directly ask to him. Okay, so there is one question from Prasad. Actually, he is asking, his question is like, starting from which age we have to go for checkups?
As I already told, in the females, the problem of osteoporosis starts from the after menopause. So after menopause, DEXA scan is usually done at an yearly basis, and in the males, it usually starts from the age of 65. But as I already told, there are certain individuals where they use prolonged steroids. So those who use steroids more than 1 year has to undergo this DEXA scan to know whether there is any signs of osteoporosis. So basically, it's meant for the target population. So the population at risk has to be screened.
Okay. Yeah, so a question from Mega. Could you please suggest good non-animal protein that we can include in our diet?
Actually, soybean is good. Actually, the principle behind I said that to decrease the animal protein was that actually animal protein is needed because it contains the essential amino acids. Our body has 21 amino acids with which we build our proteins. So out of which 9 are essential amino acids. That means these 9 amino acids cannot be produced by our body. The other amino acids can be produced from the cholesterol or from the carbohydrate, like that, by enzymes inside our body. So when there is a decrease in animal protein, our cells will sense it as a stress, and this will stimulate the genetic proofreading mechanism. So that is why in the study they recommend that to decrease the animal protein. But you cannot decrease the animal protein all of a sudden. That means you have to take animal protein because it contains essential amino acids. But you don't have to take the animal protein on every day. Okay, so that's the crux of that research.
Okay, thank you. Hope that answers your question. Okay, so yeah, then the question from Intakab, is there any classification of osteoporosis?
Actually, there is a classification proposed by the WHO, and that classification is based on the T-score. T-score means when you do a DEXA scan, your bone mineral density is compared with a healthy individual, database from a healthy population, and you get a number that's known as a T-score. So according to the T-score, your osteoporosis is classified. So in that, from -1 to -2.5 is the osteoporotic range, and after -5 it's a severe osteoporosis.
Thank you. Yeah. So a question from Rakesh. Yeah, definitely. I think doctor already covered this thing. So if we take required vitamin D and calcium, can this be avoided?
Taking vitamin D and calcium initially is good. But if the patient suffers from osteoporosis, like the patient has usually in our population, the osteoporosis is not discovered by DEXA scan. Basically, the patient comes with a fracture to me. So once there are certain fractures known as a fragility fractures, like compression fracture of the spine, distal end of radius fracture, and hip fracture. If the any patient in the postmenopausal group or a male after 65 years comes with this fracture, actually you don't have to do a DEXA scan. That means he has an osteoporosis. So in this case, calcium and vitamin D alone will not. But after menopause, I think you taking a calcium tablet is good actually, because usually the calcium tablet contains many of them. It's fear that the taking calcium tablet will create the kidney stone, but that happens when you have body habits of forming, or in your body where a body has a propensity to form renal stones. Usual calcium tablet will have only 500 milligram of elemental calcium, and usually there is a daily requirement of 1 gram of calcium daily for your body at least. So out of this 500 milligram of calcium you take, only about 300 milligram of calcium is absorbed. There is no 100% conversion in your gut. It's not very much effective in absorbing the calcium. So it will not be an overdose. Taking one calcium tablet every day when you are achieve a menopause or a 65-year-old. But if you have to take osteoporotic treatment, that is actually should be followed when you are diagnosed with osteoporosis, not just when you cross a certain age. Okay, because they are drugs with side effect.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Is there any difference between men and women for osteoporosis?
Only the starting point is different. Other than that, it's the same.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So another question from Neha. Can we reverse osteopenia?
Osteopenia is actually a precursor for an osteoporosis. Osteopenia basically responds well to calcium and vitamin.
Okay. Yeah, and there is another question. Is there a genetic component to osteoporosis, and can family history increase the risk of osteoporosis?
There is a rare disorder which increases the chance of osteoporosis in the family, but it's a very rare disorder. There's a genetic disorder that causes osteoporosis in an early age. But I haven't seen such a case in my practice. But there's a literature case. There are case reports for that. Not very common.
Okay. And one question is, what are the best practices for fall prevention, especially in older adults at risk of fractures?
One thing is that to provide good lighting and provide a clutter-free home, because they don't sense the environment much in the old age. So you have to provide a clutter-free home, and you have to provide bars during the in the bathrooms. And second thing is that there is a high chance of postural hypotension. That means you are sleeping and you wake up from the sleep. Usually, there is a low hypotension. So your blood pressure has to keep up with your posture. So in younger age, that is automatically taken. But when you achieve the old age, this adjustment of blood pressure when you stand up from a lying down position is not very much effective. That can cause a little time for hypotension where you sometimes experience a blackout. So always advise old age people to not to stand up suddenly from the lying position. First sit up, then take some time, then only stand.
One last question. I think there is one. Someone is saying that the person is having a pain, no, especially when someone is sitting and is trying to stand after some time, right? It's now they are not able to. So is it something like we need to think about? Is it something like osteoporosis, or is it something else?
Basically, there are this degeneration in the old age can happen in the bone as well as the cartilage. So cartilage is something that covers the bone in the joint. So degeneration of the cartilage is known as osteoarthritis. That is the one that prevents one from standing up from a prolonged sitting posture, because when there is an osteoarthritis or degeneration of the cartilage in the inside our knee joint, if you don't move the knee for a certain period, it will become stiff. This basically happens after a long travel. After a long travel, you stand up from the bus or a car, the knee doesn't follow your roots. This is basically osteoarthritis, not osteoporosis.
Okay.
That the treatment is different.
Okay, fine. Yeah, one question from Rija is plantar fasciitis, fasciitis
Plantar
caused by
fasciitis.
osteoporosis? Yeah.
No. Plantar fasciitis is basically is actually a ligament. It's an origin of a ligament known as a plantar fascia, which supports the arch of the foot. Okay. So the one of the common causes for plantar fasciitis is sudden increase in body weight. When there is a sudden increase in body weight or a sudden decrease in body weight, these are stressors for this plantar fascia. So that may produce inflammation in the plantar fascia. And one of the problem with the plantar fasciitis is that if you rest and then walk, the pain is increased, and the pain is usually subsided by further walking. So that is the usual symptom associated with the plantar fasciitis. A pain that is increased by rest and decreased by activity.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so any other questions? I think we are done. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dr. Dijo. I think it was a great session. I think a lot of insights. No, thanks for clarifying each and every. I mean, like I think just like no, it was superb, right? I would say that one of the best sessions which we had. Definitely, we would like to have you, again on, taking one more another session or another some other topics. Okay, so thanks a lot from our entire community, and thanks a lot, Dr. Dijo.
Thank you,
It
Hashim.
was a pleasure having you over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's move on. Okay, so I think it was so, I mean, like so insightful, right? So I think let's use our emoticons. Okay, you can just use the thumbs up, or like you can just come on video and just say thank you to Dr. Dijo. Okay, so thanks again. Okay, so the next speaker, okay, so we got another great speaker lined up. Okay, is none other than, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so it's Devi Janashekhar, and she's from an electrical background, electrical engineering and business administration background. She brings a wealth of knowledge from her 15-year career in design engineering, project management, and strategic sourcing, currently with a global MNC in Chennai. And with what truly sets her apart in her profound profession is like human behavior and psychology, leading her to pursue her courses in NLP, CBT, and hypnotherapy. And she goes above and beyond by generously offering her counseling services to various NGOs, making significant impact on the lives of many. Okay. Okay, Devi's commitment to sharing her knowledge extends to her YouTube channel, where she regularly imparts wisdom through the videos and classes. So today she will be addressing a crucial topic, especially right depression. Okay, because something which we always miss is like our mental health. Okay, so we are eager to gain insights from her expertise. Okay, please join us in welcoming Ms. Devi Janashekhar as she shares her valuable insights on this important topic. So over to you, Dr. Devi.
Hi, Ashim. Thanks a lot for your great introduction, and good evening, all. Thanks for this opportunity. And first of all, I would like to give a great applause to your team, to your community. You're all working with a great wisdom, and your vision is so great, wellness based vision, and you're doing a great thing to the society. And about the topic for the day, depression. First, let me just share my screen. See, I just thought You're able to see my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. See, depression. Depression, as you know, this is the, I think this is the hottest topic for the day, because irrespective of age, everybody are being affected. And if you see the newspapers and news, at least one news you will hear a day per day on depression. Like even the teenagers and mid-age or old age, everybody are affected. Even you can see some celebrities who are affected by this depression, and we can hear many newses of suicide case and kind of thing. And so I thought better we can take up this session today. And in this session, we'll be seeing about what is the definition of depression, how it is caused, and like what are, just a minute, let me just, how it is caused, and what are its symptoms, and what are the types, and how it can be cured. Well, depression, as you know, it is just a down feeling, like a bad day or some sad feeling if you're having, that is depression. And this depression may affect our thoughts, feelings, emotions, behavior. It totally, it is going to affect your body and mind. And about the causes, if you see, normally there are three reasons for this depression: biological, environment, or genetic. Biological, in the sense, if you are affected by some medical problem, if you're affected with some disease or something like that, because of that, the depression may be caused, and that is called the biological factors. And secondly, environment. Environment is nothing but things around you. Like if your family members or your friends or your peer or office or something are surrounding your those who are affecting you, or some conflicts or something like that, because of the external factors, if you're affected, that is environmental factors. See, there may, basically it will be biological or environment. If something is beyond that, you don't know what is the reason for that, that may be due to genetic. Because medical doctors, what they say is that if your parents or grandparents are affected, even it can be genetically caused, and this is also a reason, but it is very minor. It cannot be, it's not that much as biological and environment. And symptoms, if you see, as you all know, if you are depressed, what happens, we'll not have a proper mood, we'll have a mood swing, and we'll not have any interest in doing something. And energy, we'll have a very decreased energy, we'll not able to do anything, though we have energy, but we'll feel like that. And we'll have some guilt feeling, something as if we have done something wrong or something bad. And we'll not feel about our self-worth, we'll feel very bad about ourselves. And sleep and hungry, will not feel hungry. And we'll not be able to concentrate on anything else. And at the end, at the worst case, we may end up in a feel of suicide. These are some of the symptoms of depression. Well, depression, if you see how it can be classified, if you see, based on the severity, it is classified as mild, moderate, and severe. And moreover, I want to add one thing, like American Association of Psychology, what they say is that depression has become one of the serious killing disease. And 1 in 10 people are affected by this depression. And but the good part is that it can be cured. It can be cured if it is identified in its very early phase. If it is going in a severe phase, it has to be cured, but it's not so easy to cure. That is what. And so let us see how these types of depression can be cured. First, let's see, mild and moderate can be easily, if it is initially identified, you can just cure it with some lifestyle changes. Whereas severe means we have to go to a doctor or therapist, or medication we have to do. Well, let's see about the mild and moderate depression. Lifestyle changes, basic things what we can do in our day-to-day life. If we are able to do that, initially we can come out of this depression. Exercise, as we all know, when we do exercise and we move our body, like we'll have this endorphin being secreted. Because of this release of endorphin, what happens, we'll have a positive feel in the body and mind. And so this is, everybody says that, psychologists and all, even American Association of Psychology, they say that exercise is the best medicine for depression. If you are depressed, if you're feeling bad, just go and do some sort of exercise, even walking or cycling, something, whatever you like. It is the best one. And the second is that deep breathing. See, deep breathing. If you're even depressed, even stressed or anxiety, or when you're going to give some presentation or something, when you're feeling very anxiety, very excited, in those cases also this deep breathing will be helpful. Just see, we feel that deep breathing is just a small taking in of air. That's all what is going to happen. But it's not like that. Actually, there are so many effects for this. When you're just deep breathing, when you're putting inside your air and just noticing it and then releasing it out, it has so much effect in the body. It soothes us. It just makes you calms down your body, and it makes you feel your stress level will be reduced. And so this is one of the best method for reducing the depression. And apart from this, this is not journaling. It is not a lifestyle change, I can say. It is one of the methods. Even for depression, not only for depression, when you're angry or when you're stressed or something like that, journaling is one of the best methods. Journaling is nothing but, like, if you have any issues, just writing down all the problems, writing in completely writing all your, venting out all your issues in a paper. Once you're vented out, you feel you will be relaxed. And so journaling is one of the best method. It can be done, like, after that, maybe even in advanced hypnotherapy classes and all, like, they will be saying, after writing, it can be burnt out, it can be thrown. In those cases, it is believed that your issues, you feel that your issues will be solved. And journaling is one of the best method for coming out of depression. And apart from this, eating pattern, see, normally people say we are what we eat. Whatever, like, if we are eating healthy, we'll be feeling healthy. If we are eating more of carbs and sugar content of food, then, like, we'll be somewhat looking depressed or stressed. Even we'll not be looking fat, and that kind of thing. And so, eating, in fact, it has both the vice versa. If you are eating more like unhealthy food also, you'll be depressed. And even one of the symptoms of depression is also like putting on weight. And this is both vice versa. And sleep, this is also similar kind. It has a both end, like deep sleep. When you're not having proper sleep also, it may lead to depression. And the other case, if you're having depression, you'll not have good sleep. And so always try to maintain a good healthy sleep, sound sleep. 6 to 7 hours of sleep is better, is always recommended. And apart from everything, do what you love. When you are so stressed, what happens, like, you need to vent out. And so just forget about it, and just go and do what you love. It may be your active things, or what cycling, exercise, or listening to music or something. Just come out, unplug from your routine, and just do whatever you like, any cooking or something like that. Just come out of the issue so that you will forget that and you will be happy. These are some of the lifestyle changes which we can be done for initial mild and moderate depression. Well, coming to severe depression in the sense, the severity of all the symptoms will be so high. And so in those cases, this lifestyle changes will not be going to help us. And so we need to go to therapist, or we need to take up medication. Therapy. See, in this sense, there are many therapies for this depression. And see, normally therapists, they normally don't give only one or two therapies separately. They just combine together. That is, normally combining of all therapies works out. The first therapy, if you see, many of the psychologists, they take this talk therapy, because if you see, depressed people, normally they feel alone, they feel lonely, they feel that nobody is there to listen to them also. And so when we talk with them, what happens, they start venting out all their problems. First of all, we need to give a forum. We should give them a comfortable position to open up. We should create a good rapport with the client, and once that rapport is formed, they will be comfortable to venting out all their issues. Once they went out, once they tell everything, whatever is inside, then half of the issues will be cleared. They feel that almost the issue is cleared. And so after venting out, after once they explain their issues, then there comes the therapist has to take care then, because, like, after knowing the issue, they have to talk. It is only because of their talking this depression can be reduced. uh, After knowing the problem, what they can do, they can just make them understand the problem is not so big. Maybe they can give lot of examples of other depressed people, how they are experiencing some other problems which are so high, and problem is not only for you, it's unique, it's for everybody. It's world is full of problem like that. We need to talk with them, and then we should just make them come out of that problem. And moreover, we should ask them to see in a broader view. For example, this picture, if you're just seeing this picture, this lion is just biting or holding, it's like killing, it's going to eat is a smaller one. But if you're seeing the second one, the other side of the lion, it is just carrying, it is just moving to some place. And so if you're seeing this alone, you will be getting angry. When you're seeing the complete picture, what happens, you will get to know the details, the complete details. And so any problem, any coin has two sides. And so you should not always see in your side, you should see in the other side also. Having a broader view will help you to reduce the depression or the negative thoughts. And this is one thing. And the second thing is that problems should not be always seen as a problem. If you're seeing it as a problem, it should be always like that. See, take every problem as an opportunity. If you're just seeing this, for example, pencil has broken, if you're just crying, oh, my pencil has broken, what to do, nothing will happen. You will be, your stress level and depression will be increasing. But when you're just thinking, when it's okay, it's broken, let us sharpen on both sides, you will get two pencils, right? And so think every opportunity, every problem as an opportunity. And so talk therapy is that we speak with the depressed people, and we make them feel lighter, and we make them to perceive the world in a different way, and we make them to feel that this is not a big problem, everyone are in a problem, it can be easily cured, kind of thing, complete talking. And so this is the basic first therapy we follow for depressed people, severe depressed people. And the second therapy is cognitive behavior therapy. See, cognition is called our thinking is called cognition. The concept of this theory is that our thinking process, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our behaviors are all interrelated. This is the main concept. Whatever you're thinking, if you're having a positive thought, you will have a positive behavior. If you're having a negative thought, you will have a negative behavior. This is the concept of this, because based on this, we are going to treat the depressed people. For example, I'll just say one small example. Just consider an office environment wherein a boss is just warning or giving or finding a fault or warning a subordinate. If the subordinate thinks in a positive manner, there's no problem. If he thinks in a negative manner, oh, my boss has given, he has warned me, and that's all. He's going to remove me from my job. I'm going to suffer. My family is going to suffer. Financial problem will be there. If he's thinking negative thoughts, what happened? All the negative thoughts will just club up together, and like you will be more depressed. And after that, his behavior, like you will not be able to do anything, you will be thinking of the same thing. And after that, the situation may get worse, and again the boss may find fault, because if he's not doing anything, if he's idle, what happens, his productivity will reduce. And so because of his negative thoughts, his behavior has been reduced, that is, his behavior has become worse. He's not doing anything, he's idle, and he's depressed, and he's warned again. And so always thought is the main thing which is going to drive your behavior. And so in depressed people, what we do, we just find out what is the thought which makes him depressed. We just find it out, and we just make a big log is there, CBT log, they say. All complete thoughts, whatever is making him to depressed, they write it down, they jot it down. Then after that, they find out which thought is related to what behavior, and this behavior, by changing the thought, what thought can be replaced by another thought, and how behavior can be changed. This is a big exercise, but it is 100% proven technique, CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. I've just given something, a brief idea about this, but if we want, we can just talk more about this cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, even for hours and hours. It is so proven theory. I can give a lot of examples. Many people have been cured by this CBT. Other therapy is that mindfulness. Mindfulness, most of you would have heard about it. Mindfulness, as the word indicates, mindful. Your mind should be full of your present thing and not your past or future. And so when your mind is always with present, you will not think about your worries, your old past or your future. So you'll be always happy. That is the main concept of this. That is, it is noticing your thoughts, whatever you're doing. What is your thoughts, your feelings, and your physical sensation when you're doing something? You should just note it down. That's all. When you're noticing that, you will forget all your worries. That is what means mindfulness. There are many activities. This is also a proven technique to reduce the depression. Mindfulness, we give many activities for this. For example, mindfulness breathing. Mindful breathing is nothing but when you're breathing, you should notice, you should completely notice what is happening. When you're just deep breathing your air inside, just notice how air is going inside, then how it is going to your whole parts of the body, and how it has been. Then again, when you're releasing it, how from lungs it is coming out, and just noticing your breathing pattern. This is one of the mindful practices. And body scan. Body scan is one of the very proven technique to make you mindful. Body scan in the sense, scan what we do normally in scan. We are just seeing all the parts of the body, right? Similarly, with ultrasound, we are seeing. Similarly, with your eyes, you're going to see. With closed eyes, you're going to see. You're going to visualize what is happening in your body. For example, you're just closing your eyes and just thinking you're eating food, and so good like nutrients are going inside. Blood is produced, and air, oxygen is coming inside. It is all mixed. It is going to different parts of the body. All the parts of the body are getting energized, and so there is no problem. All diseases are getting cured. And if you're visualizing, and if you're just imagining this, and this is one of the major very good exercise, mindful exercise. And moreover, in this I want to take up the other one. Whatever you're considering, you're thinking, what your mind believes, the same thing, body and mind are related. If your mind feels your body is okay, your body will be okay. This is a science. This has been proved, and this is called the placebo effect. In fact, one of my YouTube video, I've given this placebo effect video. It is a proven technique. Even the doctors, they practice for patients for whom medicines doesn't work. And so they make them believe that things will be happy. In fact, there are many practices of placebo. Giving only water injection will be injected. There will not be any medicine. They say they will make the patient believe that it's a very costly injection we have just got from this country. If you're having only one injection, it will be solved. There are many practices going on for this. It is for people where medication is not possible, and many like people have been cured because of this placebo effect. And so similar to placebo, this body scan is also similar technique. If you're scanning your body, each and every parts of the body, thinking that everything is going normal, your body will be perfectly all right. And apart from this mindful movement, when you are moving and you're walking, when you're sitting, whatever you're doing, when you're just imagining or thinking or noticing what you're happening, then your stress will be just like that, it will be gone out. And meditation is also, like people say meditation, what is like a meditation, we don't know what to do, we cannot concentrate, kind of thing they say. Nothing like that. Meditation is just simply sitting down, closing your eyes, and just noticing what is happening in your surrounding. That's all. If you're there, it is called meditation. Just don't think. You should not sit. See, many times what happens, we do something and we think something that should not be there. Whatever you're doing, you should think of it. When you're simply sitting also, think what is happening. Okay, some air is going inside, I'm sitting like that. When you're thinking, that is called meditation. That's it. There is nothing, no big procedures are there. And this is called mindfulness. These are some of the techniques. Like for severe condition, these three therapies normally are clubbed together. And beyond this, hypnotherapy is also there. That is also a wonderful therapy to cure depression. It is all like tapping your subconscious mind, going into your subconscious level and making you believe that nothing is there. That is hypnotherapy. These are some of the therapies we use to cure depression. And that's it. I've just briefed everything, and I've not gone so deep into everything. But if time permits, maybe we can have other session for going deep into each therapies. Well, this picture, see, the small girl has become so old because only it's a short trip from his childhood to old lady. And so it's a very short trip. So why should we worry? We should enjoy our life, right? And so, see, here our life, we are all so scared. We have a lot of visions, we have a lot of goals, we have objectives to achieve. So we are all always stressed, and we are so anxious to to achieve our goals. But it should not be like that, because life is it's just reaching a destination. But the destination, the reaching journey should be very happy. And so we should be always happy, and every moment should be joyful. Every moment should be memorable, because once lost, our life, we cannot take it back. And so enjoy your journey. And any questions you have? I've just briefed everything because of time. It's already 10, and so I've just briefed everything very fastly. If any questions, you can just
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Devi, for those great session. I think, yeah, I know that it's all just like a short summary, but definitely right. We understand this is a vast topic, but this is basically like the hot topic of the day, because everyone, because see, we can easily identify like a physical condition, right? But what goes inside like in our brain, in our mind, that is something very difficult. So an amazing session. Thanks a lot, Devi. Yeah. So yeah, the session, yeah, we can take few questions, and definitely, yeah. Any questions, you can use the chat window, or you can just ask it over here. So yeah, I got a question. I got one message saying that how long does a typical depressive episode last, and is depression lifelong condition?
Is it lifelong condition? That is what you want to say?
No,
See,
this was question. Yeah, this was a question. Is it a lifelong condition?
no. It is not like that. It depends on the severity. That is what, as I explained, if it is found out initially, it can be easily cured. You yourself can cure. Consciously, you can cure. But when it goes to severe case, it should be we can take it to some therapist. Lot of therapists are there. They combine or many therapies and they give, and it's very proven. It's a proven technique. You can easily come out of the depression. And apart from that, even medication there are there for depressions. But I don't think medications can reduce your depression. Medications are just to reduce your symptoms, that's it. But it all depends on your mindset, how you believe and how you come out of it. But it's curable. It's not a serious killing disease, but people say it's becoming a serious killing disease if it's unnoticed.
Thank you. Yeah. So question from Intakab, is there any take-home message to overcome or overcame, I mean, like, an or anxious thought? Not sure very much the question is like, yeah, is there any take-home message to overcome or anxious thought?
Anxious thoughts, anxious thoughts, that is what, as we said, um, anxious thoughts, we can reduce it by thinking the other side of the coin always. If you have a perception, every human being are different, unique, because of the fact that they have some core values. Their family, their surrounding, their brain have been programmed because of that. And so if you're able to change that, if you're able to change your way you look upon the world, then everything will change. And so your perception or your mindset should be changed. Then your anxious thoughts, everything can be changed. It's all reprogramming.
Thank you, Devi. So yeah, another question is, how can we suggest to someone to meet a therapist when they are reluctant? I think this is a common question for everyone, even, right? So people are scared to go for a doctor, right? They don't know, like, there are two things, right? I think psychotherapist and physio, I mean, like, I just forgot. Okay. So people come, and when somebody say like, we just need to go to a doctor. No. I'm saying the first thing, right? I'm not mental. That is a physical, I mean, like,
Yeah.
general perception, right? So how can we, help them?
See, that was a myth feeling what we are carrying from olden days, like only mentally affected people should go. It's not like that. See, nowadays for mental well-being, it's better to go for a psychiatrist. There's no issue in that. But people are changing. It was a myth feeling, but now it is like very, even for kids who are very adamant kind of thing, people take to psychologists. It's now, I think the belief is changing. And the thing is that going to a therapist and discussing with them, maybe one session they will be reluctant. After once they go there, they feel relaxed. They feel there is a forum to vent out all their issues. And maybe that reluctance should go because of the experience. Maybe other people who are experienced and who have gone and got cured, they can, if they can influence them, then they will be okay.
Thank you, Devi. So yeah, another question is, how do we identify if someone is going through depression?
How to identify in the sense, see, that is what they will be here, they will be physically present, but mentally they will be thinking something else. They will not be able to concentrate on things, and some they will lose their sleep. And there are many symptoms based on the severity. If it is extreme cases, you can identify easily by seeing them. They will not be in a, like, whatever you say, they will be blasting on us, and they will be in a very they will feel very tired. Some people will be very tired, though they eat properly, they feel tired. They will not have energy. And some people will be very what to say, very so energetic, they will be shouting, blasting at us. And so there are different symptoms based on the severity, the symptoms may vary. And basically, if you're seeing by seeing a person, it's only one person we can identify, but by speaking with them or just discussing with them, we can find out easily.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. And the follow-up question is, in case we know of someone like that, is it safer that someone experienced like you engage, or can we do something as a first cut action? Do we need to go for a like a expertise or something like, or can we handle it our own?
If it is, that is what, if it is very beginning stage, we ourselves can handle. We can give rest for ourselves. We can engage in other things. We can try to do, but still, if we don't find any good results, then better we can take up to a therapist.
Okay, thank you. So how can we differentiate between mood swings for women in their cycle and depression?
See, correct. It's a very good question. Mood swing. See, mood swing will not be permanent. It will be only for a few days. During that cycle, it will be there. That is a very common thing. And depression mood swing will be different. It will, you cannot that will be a continuous one. If it is only a temporary one, it's normal. If it is for a prolonged time, then you can identify it's because of depression.
Thank you. Yeah, another question is like, while doing meditation, mind will think many other things. Okay, any techniques to come back to actually focus on?
See, basic technique is that you can just notice your breathing. Just notice how you are breathing inside, how air is going. If you're just thinking about that, that will be the better option. That is normal for everybody. We sit, but we'll be thinking something else. Okay, office, this work is there, kids are there, this, that. We will get all sort of distraction. But when you're mindful breathing, when you're just thinking about your breathing, this is one of the best way to prevent distraction.
Thank you. Any other questions? In the meantime, actually, I posted Devi's YouTube channel, the chat window. Yeah, you can just visit her channel, YouTube page, and definitely I could see there are many videos she actually is speaking about mental health and all those things, right? What are the topics? Some of the topics which she discussed, right? That is already there, so you can just watch her channel. And definitely, any other questions? Any other doubts? Is severe procrastination related to depression?
Yeah, of course. When you're procrastinating continuously, what happens? When you're procrastinating at that moment, it will be happy. Okay, I'm not doing this work. But at the end, when deadlines meets, what happen? You will not be able to do it. You will not be able to complete it. Then you will have a feel of depression. And when this procrastination continues, then obviously you will be in depression mode. And always it's better to start immediately. See, many of us, we just uh, procrastinate because of the fear. Maybe we will not be able to do, or we should have a proper time for this. 100% we will not be able to complete. That fear of start will be there. But if you're just okay, whatever maybe, let me start today. If you're starting that, then there will not be any issue at all. And so, what I suggest, it's better you start off. It's not that perfection is not, doesn't matter. Whatever is there, just start it. That's it. If you're procrastinating, of course, you will end up in depression.
Thank you. Yeah, just one more question is like, when to seek a medical advice and when we need to go for an expert opinion. I mean, when you need to go for a consultation and all?
That is what, when you're feeling that you're unable to control yourself, when you're unable to treat yourself, when you feel that it's extreme case, you're extreme in the sense, extreme condition, you're unable to control your feel or thought, you're in a very bad shape. In that case, maybe better you can consult a therapist. It all, there's no hardcore procedure, but still it all depends on your, if you're able to control yourself, that's it, it's okay. Or else we need to consult.
Yeah, so I think no more questions, I guess. Anything else which you want to ask, Devi? All right. Okay, so thanks a lot, Devi. I mean, for sharing this, wonderful topic. I think because I told, right, this is something like a whole topic of the day, because we are seeing celebrities, not like professionals, politicians, everyone, right, hearing a lot of these stories and all those things. So this is just to, like, I would say, this is a charter. Definitely we need you to come over again and go in further detail into it. Okay, so thanks a lot. You can just see from the chat window, you can just give her a thumbs up, or no, you just use the chat window. Okay, so to congratulate her, to thank her, okay, for coming over here and answering to our questions, sharing your wonderful insight. So thanks a lot, Devi, again. I mean, those who are there, just we have given that her YouTube channel window over there. You can just subscribe, log in, and watch your videos over there. So thanks a lot. Okay, so it was a great session. So we had, by Dr. Dijo and Devi, and I'm sure that everyone got benefited. So what is most important, definitely, right? We are going to continue every Tuesday, 9:30. We are going to bring in more speakers, more topics and all. So we are here to help the society, right? So spread the message, share this to your friends. Those who couldn't attend, right? You can just log into our Telegram channel. You can just watch over the previous recordings. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, so thanks everyone. Have a good night and happy Diwali in advance. See you again.